Bob.
When you come into this space, leave your concepts behind. Come empty. Listen with your heart, not with the head.
Chapter S. S like Sailor Bob. S for start. Bob.
Start from the fact, whether you recognize it at the moment or not, that you are already that. There won't be any need to seek to become something or someone. If you accept for now that you are that already, then you only need to notice what is seemingly obscuring it. It is non-duality we are talking about here. One. Non-dual, not two. Everything is that one, not even one, to be more precise, but this we will leave for later. Now, everything is that. Nothing is excluded. You are not excluded.
Bob.
Not convinced? Please try a little experiment now. Try to not be. Try with all your might. How are you going?
Bob.
We know it innately in our language when we say, that is the chair, that is a carpet, that is Bill, that is a cat. Take the labels off things and that is all there is. Everything is that. And that is everything. That appears as everything. You are not exempt.
S for the story of Sarah. Example. Bob told her.
No, you are already that. You are already that. Start here. There is no entity anywhere running the show. Life is functioning the universe. You are that life. Start here.
S like screen. Bob.
When you go to the movies and see all the cowboys and Indians shooting at each other, is the screen ever affected? When the movie ends, is there any blood on the screen or bullet holes in it?
S for stay. Bob.
Stay with that basic screen. Stay with the I amness. Nisargadatta calls it a diamond of good fortune to stay with that I am to the exclusion of everything else. It took him 3 years to realize his true nature, and he had no prior seeking experience nor any knowledge about Advaita. So stay with that sense of presence. Stay as that.
Some of you might have guessed this is a little gift for you guys who are still following Bob's YouTube channel with Bob's part of my book Sailor Bob Bags of Pointers to Non-Duality. Bob's parts read in Bob's voice. It is only a fragment. It is only S for and all the keywords, all the anchors from S. I did not include any of my parts. I did not even record that. The audiobook is now available on Amazon or no, Audible, but it is read by AI voice, British sounding voice. It's not too bad. But here you got read Bob's parts in Bob's voice, and I hope you're going to enjoy it, together with the little snippets of our beautiful, beautiful dream that we shared.
Bob.
Some people are told to stay in the now. They ask me how to do that. I tell them try and get out of the now and see if you can. You'll see that you can't leave this immediacy. You can't leave this present moment now.
S like senseless presence. Bob.
The sense of presence is the knowing that you are. You are aware of your being. You have a sense of existence, but it isn't a sense like other senses. It really is a pre-sense, prior to senses.
Bob.
But life is spontaneously happening. Have a look at that essence that you are. With all the dramas and traumas and things that have happened in your life, has that sense of presence been contaminated in any way by any of those things? No.
S like story. Bob.
Story requires time. Every fairy tale starts with once upon a time. Can you see how quickly it moves out of the immediacy of this moment to imagine time? Of course, it doesn't leave this moment. It happens only conceptually. Time is a concept, a mental construct only. There is no future unless you take a thought. There is no past without thought. Try it now. Is there a past unless you think about it? There is not. And even thought about the future or past is happening presently. So there is no time. Time is only in the mind. Time is mind.
Bob.
What is wrong with right now without the story? What is wrong with this timeless present moment if you pause the thought?
S like Shiva Shakti. Bob.
In Hinduism, they call it Shiva Shakti. Shiva is the static aspect, and Shakti is the dynamic aspect. Shakti dances and the world appears. But Shiva and Shakti are not two things, but two aspects of the one.
Bob.
Everything is that. Space vibrates into things, emptiness vibrates into forms. Everything is that one essence vibrating into different shapes and forms and patterns. Nothing is separate or apart from that. All of it are just vibrating patterns of energy. They also call it sky-like awareness.
S like sky. Bob.
They call it sky-like awareness because the sky is empty. There is vast nothingness in every direction. Do you think there is some blue canopy out there? Did you ever see blueness pouring through the windows of an airplane? It only appears blue, but it is a clear emptiness. Sometimes there are clouds covering it, but are they stitched to the sky? No, they are free to move on. You are that sky-like awareness, and clouds of thoughts are not stitched anywhere in your head, so they cannot really touch you.
Bob.
The answer is not in the mind. How long have you been searching in the thinking? Some of you have been seeking for 20, 30 years. You would have found the answer by now, or somebody else would have found it if it were there. But it cannot be grasped by thought, mind.
Bob.
Make the smallest distinction, however, and heaven and earth will be set infinitely apart, says the Shinchen Ming. But can the planet be separated from the sky it floats in? What is heaven? Isn't it sky? Isn't it empty space all the way, as far as you can see or imagine? So, earth can never be separate from heaven, sky, only seemingly so, only conceptually by mental divisions. It all appears in space, in stillness.
S like space, stillness, silence. Bob.
Everything is content of space. Space is no thing. Can anything come from no thing? No. So the content must be that space too. All manifestation is just an appearance, an illusion, the no thing. They call it Maya. Space or emptiness is vibrating into forms, shapes and patterns, appearing as things.
Bob.
For things to appear, they have to appear dualistically. They cannot be sound without silence, darkness without light. There is no one-ended stick. Every stick has two ends, yet it is one stick. Without the duality, there is no appearance. But when you look closer, is the darkness anything other than the absence of light? Is light anything other than the absence of darkness? There is only one essence vibrating into multitude of forms.
Bob.
Space is not obscured or contaminated by its content. When content is overlooked, the background shines forth. When attention is on the screen or space itself, subtle joy, subtle love of being is experienced.
Bob.
What is the first thing you see right now? What is the closest to your eyeballs? Isn't that space? But we don't notice it. We focus on things instead of relaxing into the space.
S like space out, exercise. Bob.
How many eyes do you have? Do you experience two eyes doing the looking? Or just one, open window of seeing?
S like senses. Bob.
The very first thing you see, but overlook, is space. Space contains everything, but nothing can contain space.
Bob.
Silence is always there underlying sounds and gaps. Space is never obscured by any objects appearing in it. Stillness, or the static screen, is no thing. It is, and it isn't at the same time. It cannot be grasped as an object because it is your essential nature. Knowing, no ing. It is pure subjectivity.
S for subjectivity. Bob.
Can you postulate anything outside the space? Where would it appear? Nothing could be outside this space or stillness. It is a basic screen on which and off which everything comes and to which it dissolves.
Bob.
In Buddhism they call it cognizing emptiness. It is not that you or I are cognizing or knowing it, but it is the emptiness itself suffused with the capacity of cognizing. It is self-knowing, self-aware, self-shining. It shines of itself with this innate intelligence or cognizing capacity. It is not a subject knowing the object. It is pure subjectivity. It is closer than your breath. It is who you are.
Bob.
Can you negate your beingness right now? Even to say, I am not. There has to be something there enabling you to say it. You have to be there to say, I don't exist. This I am is pure subjectivity, without conceptual, imagined, boundaries of shape and form.
Bob.
Dzogchen also calls it the great perfection. It says that the great perfection is non-conceptual awareness, knowing without concepts, without a thought. This is your essential nature.
S for split. Seeing into seer and seen. Bob.
Knowing is happening just like digestion is happening. Thought arises, I know. But could there be a knower without the knowing? Could there be anything to be known without the knowing, the know ing? There couldn't be.
Bob.
Everybody is saying right now, did you set out to do this? Did you switch it on somehow when you woke up in the morning? Or was it readily available as soon as you opened your eyes? So the seeing is happening right now. It is the same seeing you had yesterday, but the content has changed. Does your eye tell you I see? My eye doesn't tell me, look at this, Bob, look at that. Does yours? My eye doesn't say anything at all. Seeing is happening through the eye, and the thought comes up and translates it into I see. But can that thought I see actually see anything? Close your eyes and see how much you can see in the room with the thought I. Come on, do it now.
Bob.
The thought I see cannot see, but now when we say I see, we don't mean pure seeing anymore. Now this I has been introduced and believed into being. Now we relate it to the conceptual image we created around this I thought, and we consider ourselves to be it. So now I, me, Bob, the Australian, the good guy, claims the capacity of seeing.
Bob.
Can there be a seer without seeing? No, there cannot. Can there be a seen without seeing? No. So there are not two. Only the mind divides them conceptually. All there is here is the seeing, C-I-N-G. The I-N-G on it signifies the immediacy of this moment. Seeing is an immediate activity.
S for spontaneity, or S like spontaneity. Bob.
Do you know what your next thought is going to be? Have a look now. Wait for that next thought to come. Or tell me what you are going to be thinking in 2 minutes from now. You don't know, right? You do not know what your next thought is going to be.
Bob.
Nisargadatta told me, and I'm telling you, there is only life. There is nobody who lives life. Watch yourself through the day and see how true it is. You are being lived. See it for yourself. Don't take my word for it.
Bob.
The multitude of causes Nisargadatta simplified to stating that things are uncaused. Uncaused meaning spontaneous.
Bob.
You are seeing right now. You see. Seeing is spontaneous, just like the knowing that you are is spontaneous. In that seeing, it's all inclusive. There is no separation in the immediacy of this moment. Another way of looking at spontaneity is to see that this moment now has no duration. Look, when does this now begin? It begins right now. And as you say it begins, it is already ending. And beginning again, and ending. So it has no duration. And there is no time in this immediacy. Timeless means spontaneous.
S for speaking. Bob.
People often ask me if Nisargadatta told me to speak. No, he didn't tell me anything like that. But even if he told me to not speak, he couldn't have stopped me.
S for Sat Chit Ananda. Bob.
In Hinduism, they call it Sat Chit Ananda. These are not three things but three aspects of the one. Sat means existence, Chit, consciousness, and Ananda is bliss, loving to be, or stillness. Awareness of being is bliss, or being, knowing, and loving to be, or existing, knowing stillness. Are you not existing right now? You are existing. Are you unaware? You are not unaware, so you must be aware or conscious. Aren't you happy to be? Would you be dead for quids? You would defend yourself or run if somebody was trying to shoot you right now. So you must be that Sat Chit Ananda already.
Bob.
There is only this moment, now, always and ever, now, timeless, eternal. This is the only unchanging truth. What is not here now is not eternal, but transient. What can come will also go, so it is not worthy of chasing. Bliss as an ecstatic event is just another passing experience.
Bob.
You will never find peace of mind. Peace is when the mind is not. That's why they call it peace that passeth all understanding. And this is your natural state. This is Ananda.
Bob.
We have 5 factors in Hinduism. 3 of Sat Chit Ananda, that is what's real, and the other 2, Nama Rupa, the name and form, the illusion or Maya. You are the awareness of bliss in being, Sat Chit Ananda. This is reality. You are not what you think you are. You are not the name or form, they are limitations we put on ourselves. They are illusions.
S for saints, sages, saviors, and seers. Bob.
All this has been pointed throughout the ages by many sages, saints and seers, but they are merely messengers. They are just patterns through which this intelligence energy expresses itself. And what really matters is the message.
Bob.
Somebody asked me once if I was a sage. I told him I was parsley, rosemary, and thyme.
Bob.
There wouldn't be a manifestation if it didn't appear dualistically. There couldn't be a dawn without the dusk, pleasure without pain. If not for interrelated pairs of opposites, there would be nothing at all.
Bob.
What you need to understand is that nobody can tell you anything, and nobody can teach you anything. You may want to go to another guru who will tap you on the forehead with the peacock feather, give you a kundalini experience, or promise you some enlightened future. But this is not it. Experiences come and go. What you are right now is changeless reality. You have to see it for yourself because no guru or prophet or saint or savior, in fact, nobody, can do it for you.
Bob.
You may want to watch the next video, read the next book, go to the next satsang in hope to get something. But it is all the matter of discarding. Investigate, see the falseness of this so-called ego, and you won't need any saviors, sages, or seers. That light will shine bright out of your own eyes, undimmed by false belief. Instead of you chasing saints or messengers, others will come to you, attracted by that peace.
Bob.
Everything is one, in essence, but not in the way it appears or expresses. Everything is one in essence, but not in the way it appears or expresses.
Bob.
We worship the messenger and ignore the message. We put them on high thrones and worship them. We call them saints, sages, saviors, and seers, and hope that they will give us what we don't have. There is a story about Jesus hanging on the cross, still alive. People at his feet are fighting over his robe instead of asking him the ultimate truth. So, understand, it is about the message, not about the messenger. The messenger is just a mouthpiece. Do you think somebody else can save you, or that somebody else can save the world? How well did Jesus or Buddha do? Suffering still thrives as ever.
S for sun, self-shining. Bob.
Buddhists call it self-shining, ever-fresh presence awareness. Just this, nothing else. They mean it shines of itself, like the sun. Nobody lit up the sun. Its nature is to shine. From sun's standpoint, what can ever obscure it?
Bob.
Nisargadatta pointed out that you can only put it in negative terms. Nothing is wrong anymore. This is the natural state.
Bob.
When you go out on a cloudy day, do you say that the sun is not in the sky? No, because you know for certain that the sun never leaves the sky. And what does the sun know about the clouds? They are so small, so far away, the sun in its vastness doesn't even know about them. It just shines. And when you think what causes the clouds, you realize that the sun itself causes the clouds to form. It doesn't know anything about it. It just shines, and through shining and warmth, it evaporates water, Evaporated water forms the cloud, and difference in atmospheric pressure forms the wind that blows away the clouds or causes them to fall down as rain. So, as the sun forms the clouds, the same way the life essence itself forms thoughts or expresses itself as thoughts. And like clouds, they are not attached anywhere. They move on.